My name is Nick Marks. I work for Wildlife Alliance. My projects deal with the illegal wildlife trade. And I would say that that is the single most damaging practice for wildlife populations. Tons of wildlife leaves the country every year to be used as either food or traditional medicine. Phnom Mao Wildlife Rescue Centre serves as the country's premier zoo, but it is also a place where all rescued wildlife will arrive. I feel it must be one of the best government-run wildlife rescue centres anywhere in the world. All the elephants at Phnom Mao were rescued. 2 were rescued from an abusive captive situation. Lucky was found wandering alone as a tiny, tiny baby and was then hand-raised by her mahout, Trisi Teng. And little Chook, of course, was again wandering alone without his mother. He'd blundered into a snare, had suffered a huge injury to his front leg, and we were requested to bring him to Phnom Mao, and subsequently we fitted him with a prosthetic foot. Okay, this is special training that Chook has taken part in so that we can take off and put on his prosthesis. All done without violence, all done without on a reward basis, called target training, clicker training. Do the same with dogs. So when he hears the clicker, he gets a reward. He's come up close to the fence and allowed himself to be handled. He's extremely dangerous now, Chook, but as long as he's getting fed rewards, he's handleable. And there's never any violence and there's never any temper. The only thing that happens if Chook doesn't do what we want him to do is he doesn't get the reward. And he always does what we want him to do because he likes food. Well done. Okay, so he sits down to command, he does everything to command. And now they'll change the prosthesis. Snares are unselective. It probably wasn't meant for an elephant, but the wire noose constricted around his foot and cut off the circulation long enough for him to lose his foot. I then set about trying to find someone who would create a prosthetic foot for him. I contacted many prosthetics organisations and all of them wouldn't help. I finally contacted Kathy McConnell of the Cambodian School of Prosthetics and Orthotics, and she said she didn't know if she'd be successful, but she'd certainly try. And the rest's history. It's changed Chook's life. In most countries, it's illegal to trade wild animals. Cambodia is no different. There are perfectly good laws protecting wild animals. The trouble with these laws is they're largely not implemented, which is where Wildlife Alliance comes in. We assist the government in the implementation of the law governing the illegal trade in wild animals. The Wildlife Rapid Rescue Team consists of 8 military police and 4 forestry officials. We are implementing the law of the Cambodian government It is directly pertaining to the Forestry Administration. We've confiscated around 50,000 live animals in the 10 or 11 years that the Wildlife Rapid Rescue Team has been operating. Before, Wildlife Alliance assisted the Cambodian Forestry Administration in implementing the Wildlife Rapid Rescue Team. Illegal wildlife trade was rife everywhere. Animals were traded in markets, eaten in restaurants, sold on the streets. Thanks to the Wildlife Rapid Rescue Team, people now know that this is illegal. We confiscate illegally traded wildlife from traders, from restaurants, from individuals, and release it. If it's for some reason unable to be released, we will look after the animals that we rescue at Phnom Tamao Wildlife Rescue Centre. The Wildlife Rapid Rescue Team has a Cambodian manager, Kem Butiravan, who does a great job running the team, and it's now well known that trading wildlife is illegal. So, kind of thing, we got the traders on the run a little bit now. Parts of wildlife is put into vats of wine. We raided some huge vats, all sorts just slung into the same vat of alcohol. People consider that wildlife is a tonic, whether bear paws in wine heals any particular ills. I'm honestly not sure. The trader had made himself scarce, so that is now in the hands of the local prosecutor, and when he's apprehended, he will go to court. Live animals that we confiscated included monitor lizards, some rat snakes, turtles. The animals that the Wildlife Rapid Rescue Team confiscated were released in Khao Sima protected forest. Doesn't necessarily mean that they will survive, but they get a second chance. Around this time of year, we confiscate an awful lot of young hill miners, baby hill miners, that have been stolen from nests and will be sold on as pets. All baby animals and birds will come here, and these guys will look after them. They do a really good job hand raising them. What happens, obviously, we can't release them. The 35 that were rescued in Rathnakiri, they'll be hand raised here until they are fully fledged, and then we'll just quietly open the cage door and let the birds leave. By purchasing wildlife, no matter how kind you think you're being, you are just promoting the trade. If you see wild animals being traded within Cambodia or anywhere, please do not purchase them. By purchasing them, you are merely prolonging the trade and creating a market. You are freeing one animal, but you will definitely ensure that other animals are captured and sold. To stop the wildlife trade, we have to educate local people. We have to create alternatives. We also must not be afraid in helping with the implementation of the law. We have to be unafraid to assist governments and to encourage governments to actually implement the law and enforce the law. When the buying stops, the killing can too.